Today on the show, Sorry, guys. Today on the show, Mark Zuckerberg is building an underground bunker in Hawaii. I'm guessing that it is probably over the burn area where the elites burned the city.
Oh, right.
It's not. Probably not. It probably is. I'm guessing because 2024 is going to be mostly peaceful.
Why do stores and eateries expect me to tip for everything now? They're always flipping that iPad in my face so passive-aggressively. Let's talk about that.
And we share our goals for 2024, but we don't have any goals for 2024. It's confusing, I know, but we'll explain.
All this and more on episode 33 of the Blimey Cow Podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Blimey Cow Podcast. Every Friday, we try to make the world a little less messy. My name is Josh.
And I'm Jordan. Comment below with your answer to this week's question. We don't really have a question this week, other than what is your 2024 main goal? Like, what is your...
How do you say put it in one comment. Tell us what is your goal for 2024. Whether you are new to the channel or have stuck with us throughout the years, or maybe you've come back recently and remembered how much you enjoy our program, now is a great time to support us at supportblimeycow.com because it helps make this show possible. And we have so many awesome things coming in early 2024 for our supporter community. I just put out a little post to tell people come back on January 2nd because that's when we're gonna start talking about it, okay?
Did you say January 2nd?
January 2nd.
Second, guys, not the first, the second. Guys, don't forget to check out the Clips channel. Everything you love about the podcast without the time commitment. Help us hit 800 subscribers, okay? Blimey Cow Clips, youtube.com/@BlimeyCowClips.
All right, let's get to our top stories.
Josh, how was Christmas? How was your Christmas? Did you get lots of gifts? Did you get lots of gifts?
I did.
Did you give lots of gifts?
I got and I gave.
Good.
And it was very nice.
That's very
we
good.
had 3 straight days of Christmas. We did Christmas with Kelly's dad and her family. And then we did our Christmas on Christmas Eve. And then we did Christmas with you guys,
That's
Mom
right.
and Dad, and Amy, on Christmas Day.
Right. You know, me and Sarah kind of did the same thing. I was like, look, we're opening presents for 2 days straight with her family and then with our family. So why don't we just open up presents the night before? So we technically had 3 days.
So you did it on on Christmas Eve or on
3rd? Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay. You did the same thing we did then.
Yeah, I know. That's what I realized.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. What was your favorite gift you got?
Josh gifted me puzzle games, which actually goes into our top stories.
Oh, okay.
Josh gifted me some puzzle games just randomly the next day, the 26th. Josh is always doing something on the second day. I didn't know this year, on the 26th. And he gave me the Witness and what is the 2D one with
Braid.
The time? Braid.
Portal
1, Portal 2.
Well, everything is on sale on Steam right now, so
That's
for
right.
like $15, and I was able to get you all that stuff. By the way, Jordan, if you go on your Steam account today, there's something else there for you. Something I forgot.
This is the 3rd day.
Well, Jordan started. He finished the Talos Principle.
I did.
One of my favorite puzzle games. And because Jordan and I are both been talking about making games in the new year.
That's right.
So I was like, well, Jordan, if you're going to make any sort of puzzle something, here are the games you need to play. And he played Talos Principle first.
I did, and that was a very fun game. The story was great. I was a bit confused during the game because I don't play video games very often, and especially I've never played a puzzle game. It was fun doing it and thinking about how the creators were doing it.
Yeah.
We're coming.
Yes.
That was what made it really fun for
Yeah.
me.
Well, I played through it while you were playing through it so we could talk about it together. So this was my 3rd time playing it over the last 10 years. And I was also replaying it because the second game came out a few weeks ago, and I'm getting ready to start it, so I wanted to try it again. The thing you're going to find on your Steam account that I gifted you today is actually DLC for Talos Principle. It's a whole other little section of the game that they added.
What is DLC?
Download. I don't know what
Downloadable content?
I guess downloadable content. I was like, wait, what does DLC stand for?
Okay.
No, it's
Really?
just like a little extra section of the game. You play as a different robot that is doing something that takes place after the events of the first game.
Now that is interesting.
Okay?
Okay,
And the
good.
puzzles are... I don't remember that they introduce any new concepts, but it's basically just playing around with all the things they've already shown you. And it's
gotcha.
it's a little more difficult. I think Talos Principle is one of the most, like, taxing ones. So the fact that you did that one first, that's why I get to do those other games, because I was like, well, if you could hang with that, then here are the ones that are, I don't know, a little more peaceful and enjoyable. Talos Principle is like hard on your brain, and The Witness is probably the hardest puzzle game I've ever played. Of all the games I've finished, The Witness is the one that I'm the most proud to say I didn't look anything up.
Oh, really?
So you're just on an island and you can go anywhere and do anything the whole time.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All this to say, I have a game in mind that I think is actually genius that I want to do. And
the one about the guy?
Yeah, the one about a guy in a room.
Yeah.
And it's very basic, like the environment, but the storyline is very complex. I really want to make that. It's going to take me a long time to get to that point. So I'm playing these to kind of, because I've never done puzzle games before, so I'm playing these to kind of analyze what are the steps to tricking me or making me learn this in a helpful way. Yeah. And then how can you kind of manipulate people to do things or not do things that you want them or don't want them to do.
Right.
That's the point of me going through a lot of these.
How do you get a player to do exactly what you want them to do without them realizing that you guided them the whole way? That's why I love puzzle games. A lot of The Witness there are no words in that game. So it's literally, there would be puzzles the first time I played it where Kelly would walk in and be like, "Are you stuck?" And I would be like, "So here are the rules." And I would like explain, and I'm realizing that I'm verbalizing something that has just been explained to me non-verbally the whole time. And just the act of saying it out loud made me realize what the answer to the puzzle was. It's awesome. Talos Principle is great, but The Witness, I think, is the best game ever made. So I'm excited for you to play that one. I think you'll like Braid as well. And Portal. Most people watching this at least know what Portal is, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll probably do The Witness first because the game I'm wanting to do is 3D and The Witness is in 3D.
Okay, so that was Christmas. That was puzzle games. Let's get to our question of the week.
Every week I try and come up with a question where the poll is exactly 50-50. I've only done it one time. It was literally 50-50. I thought this was a great question, so let's see what the polling was. Would you rather have to sauna in 100 degrees every day for
160 degrees.
160 degrees. We're going crazy. Every day for 1 hour, or fully immersed in 33-degree water every day for 5 minutes? And it is split 75-25. At least it's even. 25-75. I feel like that's a nice
nice quarter. I think this is surprising to me.
Well, it is and it isn't, because the cold exposure thing is so wildly popular now.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, yes. It's everywhere. Everybody is talking about that. Literally everyone.
It's like talking to Kelly when I talk to you sometimes about this stuff. It's like, no, this is what people are saying. And I'm like, what people? Who? Where?
What people?
I don't know. I feel the most out of the loop of anybody.
No, you're not.
I guess because you told me. Now you've told me, so now I'm in the loop. But I didn't know that.
The Wim Hof method.
I don't know what that word means. I've never heard it before.
Well, he's like the Iceman.
Hi, I'm Wim Hof, the Iceman, as the way they call me.
Okay. And he does the cold exposure and the breathing with certain things.
That this was a thing. I didn't know it was such a big thing. I know you talked to me about it.
It's very.
But you talked to me about lots of stuff that's not popular.
Well, I know, but then when it comes to like the fitness stuff and like that health side of stuff, I'm always on the cutting edge of that. And then so I'm always looking this stuff up. And then a year later, it's like, oh, now everybody knows who this guy is, or everybody.
All right.
So anyways, now this makes sense to me because everybody, even if people don't know what it's like to be that cold, they have this. Their goal is to be able to sit in this for 5 minutes. Okay. So it makes sense. This is what people dreaming that they could do it.
I think I would have to go with whatever was the much shorter option.
Yeah. You would get used to this. Yeah. The 5 minutes, 33 degree.
Yeah. I just hate being cold. I would rather be hot than be cold.
For 1 hour at 160 degrees is devastating.
Right.
For every day.
Right. That's my hesitation here. But yeah, for an hour, I mean, I feel like I would start to freak out.
Yeah, it'd be like being in hell.
Unless there was some significant health benefit to doing it every day for an hour, that I could
That's a good point.
reason it in my head, like, okay, no, this is good. I'm burning fat or just something. Yeah. I'm sweating out toxins.
Both of these do have health benefits. Now, is doing it 160 for 1 hour, is that pretty extreme? I honestly not exactly sure. It might not be. Whereas doing 33-degree water for 5 minutes, in the grand scheme of things is not that extreme. Like that's
Right.
extremely doable.
Yeah.
For the human body.
That's a long 5 minutes, though. What's this week's question?
Yeah, this week's question.
It's not a would you rather.
No, it's not. It's not a poll, unfortunately, but it's just as important. What is your main goal for 2024? What is the main thing that you want to accomplish or have done or learn?
And we're going to talk about ours, and it gave me hope.
Yes, so we're going to be on the forefront of this to encourage you guys.
All right. Okay.
Christian meme review.
All right, let's see what you got this week, Jordan.
This isn't funny, it's inspirational. Actually pretty cool.
This is cool. Dude, that is so true, man.
Do not be afraid.
All right, here's mine.
Is better. You have no idea because you're not here. I've been coaching here for 15 years. I've never seen any of this. You have no idea because you're not here.
That's funny.
I've been coaching here for 15 years.
That's so classic.
I've never seen
Wow,
any.
I only had one meme today. I was desperately looking for more, and normally the algorithm just feeds them to me. But today it was just like, here's your friend from 30 years ago. Here's their Christmas.
Binky frozen vegetables.
Yeah, it was just nonstop, so I couldn't find any. Other than that,
I was talking to some friends on Christmas, actually. We were doing our traditional 3rd annual Rocket League early morning Christmas.
That's right.
That's what we do. And they were telling me about stuff people were posting on Facebook. And I was like, people still post on Facebook? Is it okay? And they were like, yeah.
I mean, they're posting stories. They're posting like little videos of them like talking with their children, and then they put it down.
I just thought by now
Facebook.
people were over it.
No, it's
They're on another app, but it's
no,
still
it's
Facebook?
more. It's more than ever.
Really?
They haven't let go.
We'll talk more about Mark Zuckerberg in a minute because he might be thinking past Facebook. All right, let's go to the message.
Oh, Josh, this is just not right what you wrote here. You said this is a supporter message.
I'm sorry I said message. I meant to write message.
You know, Josh, I'm in so deep that mine autocorrects to message. Hi, Jordan and Josh. I wanted to get your thoughts on asking a coworker out. We work at a small mom and pop business and interact daily. Both of us are mature, late 20s, and have dated in the past. I don't want to make things awkward if she is not interested. They have dated in the past. I'm worried that
He's
asking...
saying they've dated other people. He's just saying this is not our first rodeo.
Oh.
If this worked out. That's all he's
I
trying to
agree.
say here.
I don't want to make things awkward if she's not interested. I'm worried that asking her out would be awkward if she declines and that things could get messy if we would start dating and break up. In the past, a set of coworkers dated, and when they broke up, they both eventually left the company. I really wouldn't want that to happen again. Since my boss in the company has been so good to me, this girl and I have known each other casually since college, and our significant others broke up with us on the same weekend last year. I've been wondering if this is a sign, but I don't want to read too much into it, into that either. I don't know why I separated those. You know, I don't know if that was a sign per se, but look, if you guys have known each other since college, like, whatever, okay? Just go for it.
Yeah.
So what if it gets messy, though? What if it gets messy and then they have to leave the company?
I think that you just purpose in your heart to say, look, if this doesn't work out, she leaves, not me.
That's what he says in his heart.
That's what I would say. Like, look, if I want to take a chance on this, I'm keeping the job.
Yeah, I don't think... Look, I don't think that this is as much of a risk as this guy's saying. If you do, just go all out, you know, and you try and date this person. If you were in like a high-end engineering position and you were like, wow, this could actually completely screw up my career. Maybe I shouldn't do. But if it's like, hey, I'm not downgrading like your job, what you're doing, but like this is less of a. There's going to be more options. Maybe there's better options even.
Unless it's a situation where it's like the mom and pop has like 3 or 4 employees that have been there for a long time and they know the business and they pay them well.
Exactly.
And, you know
Nice.
what I mean?
Yeah. They give you time off when you want it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it could be one of those situations where it's like, man, I really don't want to lose this.
But sometimes, Josh, that can hold you back, too.
So I tell you what, you're looking for signs, ask her out. If it doesn't work out and your job goes completely to
H,
then use that as a sign that it was time.
use everything as a sign.
Use everything
to
as a
guide
sign.
you.
If it works out, you know what? You guys can become the mom and pop of that shop when the current owners die.
There you go, Josh.
Look, us answering this question is a sign.
It is.
They actually answered my question on the show.
And to us, it's just this insignificant. We just picked a question.
Hey,
and
this is a supporter message.
No, I'm not saying their question is insignificant, but to us, we get hundreds of billions of messages. So it's like, wow, we're answering another one. But to this person, and it might be real, Josh, wow, this is a sign. Josh, I wrote a question. Josh and Jordan actually answered my question. And all they've done is insult my profession.
Play this at the wedding.
I'm not insulting the job.
Don't do it.
I think that's what I hope is not coming across. I'm not insulting the job. But I'm just saying, if you lose this job, that's not the end of the world. At least you gave it a shot. You went out into the world and you had the great adventure of your life. You asked this girl out. You lost everything. You lost the mom and pop shop job, but you tried. You went out and you tried. That was a great adventure. You learned something. You lost the job. Now we're off to bigger and better things.
Lost it all. Lost the girl.
Yeah.
Lost the mom and pop. Lost your whole family.
You're not
basically.
going to regret it. You won't regret that. It'll be exciting.
Write us again and let us know how this goes. Okay,
Yeah.
This was sent to us relatively recently, so I want to hear how this turns out. This is a supporter after all, so
You go for it.
I'm not
Just
sure
do
who
it.
the supporter is. They're sent anonymously, but
Anonymous.
supportblimeycow.com. You go into a separate inbox where I'm much more likely to see your question.
Yes.
Okay, what's next, buddy boy?
Crazy clips. Yes. Crazy clip.
I gotta see that again.
Just
what in the world? Why would you do something like that?
Men do a lot of things to get women.
Dude, why would you ever just for no reason just put your... And who would drive those cars?
Man, they're probably remote controlled.
Oh, it could be.
They're all in a
that's
line.
just so scary. I can't even. Clearly someone without a family, I would hope.
He was doing that to get a family. That's what I'm trying to express.
More motorcycles. You know I hate motorcycles. And the people who ride them so recklessly.
He just runs off to the side.
Yeah, he's on like an adrenaline high. Holy Moses.
Oh, man.
Dude, this is my worst fear, going through an intersection. Literally, anytime I go through an intersection, I'm like looking both ways.
I just told Sarah the other day, I
time.
said, I never look. I just trust, like,
No,
we're
I
good.
don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody.
And
When
then I just told myself I should start looking. So I have been looking a little bit more, looking to the left instead of it's just green. I just go through it.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What is that?
Exactly. It's a wide load, oversized load, whatever on
Long
the interstate.
load is what that is. Well, you see these big structures and you think, well, how'd that get there? I guess someone had to drive a truck
Exactly,
at some
man.
point.
Exactly. It's one of those whale sharks, I think.
Get them!
You take the Avatar movie serious.
Why would you take your life
Why?
into your hands that way?
I mean, I think those things are pretty, like, docile, aren't they?
I would never take a risk with a creature that much bigger than me. Ever.
No.
Thank you for crazy clips. I love them every
Yes.
time. Keep them coming.
Now we got deep thoughts.
Jordan, let's talk about tipping. I found this article on Zero Hedge. You expect me to tip for that? Americans are tired of tipflation. Okay? In an August survey of 11,945 adults, 72% of respondents said they opposed automatic service charges that appear on their bills. One half of the respondents strongly opposed this practice. You ever seen when you get like an automatic tip applied to your bill?
Yes, I have seen that. That doesn't bother me.
No?
No, what bothers me is when I'm at the fast food chicken salad place.
Yeah.
And
They
nothing is happening. They just flip it around, and it's like she can see it, I can see it, and I just say, no tip. I don't feel like anybody did anything. Like this is just mass produced in the back. Like who's getting this anyways? Like I think that's what I'm confused by. Who is getting this? Because clearly the company is wanting you to do this. This isn't just a you thing. This is the company is. So is this going to you? Who is this going to?
Right, I know that's part of it too.
I'm just paying more.
Right. I don't like a tip jar.
Yes.
You know? Like that's fine. That makes sense. If there was good service and I've got some cash in my pocket, I'll put it in. And or you pay with cash.
Yeah.
And whatever the change was, you put it in.
But when it's like the company itself is clearly, and every company all of a sudden, I'm thinking, okay, they're trying to play on my humanity so they can get more money. I don't think it's for. I don't know how much you're keeping. I don't think it's like when I tip at the restaurant, like you're getting it. I don't think that's how this works.
I mean, sometimes the places will say who the tip goes to. But I know a lot of places do this obnoxious thing. I mean, look, I've never worked in the service industry, like serving food or doing things like that. So maybe this is beneficial, but in my head, it doesn't make any sense. But they'll like pool all the tips, and then everybody will get an equal amount. And I'm like, no, I want to, so that's to protect if you didn't have a lot of customers that day, and the ones that you did get were like bad tippers. Then everybody that okay, well, so and so got a really big tip. Well, great. So it's just a way to protect and make sure that you get tips every time. So that would be the argument for it. But I mean, whatever, tipping at a restaurant on your meal because somebody served you the food, that we've always had that makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that. But this the fast food flipped the iPad towards you so you can, I mean, literally all the in all the years of going to these places and you use a card, you never had to sign for anything, like hardly ever.
No.
But they flip it so that you have to sign something, but they're adding the tip on there too.
Exactly. That's
what it really is about.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of walking into the grocery store in 2020, and there's a sign on the door that I have to confront. Wear a mask. I've got to confront something for some reason. Like I'm just this innocent dude walking into this place. It's like I'm just gonna get this service, and now it's like, hey, deal with this now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? While everyone is standing there looking at you, it just seems like if you wanted to tip, it's a kind of if you're gonna tip at like a restaurant, there's nobody standing there over you watching your decision. They leave. You write, okay, let me do the math on my phone.
Right.
Here's the tip. Okay. You walk away.
Yeah.
But with this, they flip it and they just are staring at you.
Yeah.
Now, some of them, they'll flip it and they'll look away, which I appreciate because they know that the game is kind of stupid.
Right.
But the ones that they flip it and they just stand there, it's like.
I know, it's like awkward for everybody. I imagine it's awkward for them too. I went somewhere yesterday. I had to go pick up a friend's dog because they were out of town and had a flat tire. They needed to be picked up by the end of the day. And so I had to pay when I got there and get paid back. But it was something like, all right, here's the total, and would you like to leave a tip for? So they were just like asking me, like, what?
Verbally?
Yeah,
verbal abuse.
Verbal abuse. It was verbal abuse. They were
weird.
But then I think when they realized, oh, this is a friend. Then when I was like, oh, do I have to pay? Like, oh yeah, can they pay you back? Okay, yeah, sure. And then when they told me the total again, after all that, they didn't ask if I wanted to leave a tip, and I didn't even know what I was going to be leaving a tip. I don't know what an appropriate dog sitting tip is. I don't know.
They're like, it's for this dog, and there's like an injured dog that walked out. We're trying to help him.
It's a donation.
It's a donation to him, to his kind.
Little brother. Anybody who watched Home Store Runner. I don't know. And here's part of it too. It's like I didn't work in the food industry, but I did have a retail job when I was a teenager.
How much were you getting paid now?
I made $6 an hour. Right. And these guys are making at least double that now. And I didn't get tips.
No.
So it's just weird. But I think what it is when it flips and they ask for tips,
Flips asks for tips.
Flips asks for tips. Flips asks for tips. It's like it's creating this tension where it's like, what have you done for me?
Yeah, do you deserve this?
Yeah, whereas like if
taken my order,
if there's just a bucket with that you can put cash in or whatever, it's like, oh, it's there if I want it. If someone was nice to me or something.
At Five Guys, I ordered a small fry. He clearly gave me a large. He just dumped 2 buckets because he liked me for some reason.
Yeah.
Tip jar.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like if you have, it's that thing of if you have a choice in the matter, if you feel like you have some agency, then you're more likely to. But they must have found on the whole that most people just click, I don't know, 10%.
Definitely.
But
100%. That's why they do it. They realize that it hacks the nicety of Americans.
Well, this is saying this was like a post-COVID thing because they didn't want to have to raise prices, but it was like trying to help out the employees or whatever, and so now they're still hesitant. I mean, they've still increased the prices anyway.
Exactly.
But so now it's a way of saying like, hey, help us pay the employees, so we don't have to raise our prices on the food so much.
That's what this article is saying?
Yeah.
I was listening to somebody and they were talking about how there is a restaurant bubble. This was just their opinion.
Uh-huh.
There's a restaurant bubble. Think about how if you have children, you have several children. Imagine when they get older, Josh, and they're and they're going to eat food. Even if you go to a chicken salad chick place, you're going to walk out of that spending a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
If it's for a middle class family.
Yeah. Even now,
it's not sustainable.
Yeah, like we have to be strategic about what we do when we go out to eat, because if not, you end up spending $40 just for like fast food stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously not if you go to like McDonald's or something like that. But we don't eat out.
Maybe
we don't. Yeah, well, I've looked at the McDonald's prices because I saw someone complaining about that, and those are expensive too now. So I just don't want to sound elitist when I say that, because people are like, "What are you talking about?" I go out to eat with 3 people or 4 people for $20 still, but I don't even know if people can do that anymore.
I don't think that people talk about like that anymore.
We just don't eat out very often. And,
so it's always kind of shocking.
And now we don't hardly eat out at all. I mean, it's just like, it's not worth it.
Well, now imagine even going to a place like, what's a place that a lot of Texas Roadhouse. Imagine going to a Texas Roadhouse where it's actually like, it's affordable steak, but it's extremely good, very high quality stuff. Imagine if you and your family want to go out to that once a month.
Right.
You would be spending an exorbitant amount of money at a place like so. This person was saying that there is a restaurant bubble where a lot, like when the economy starts to inflation, the economy starts to get worse, that a ton of restaurants are going to actually shut down.
I mean, that makes sense, especially with the prices that they're charging for food. I mean, like,
but they even can't help it almost because the price of food has gone up.
I know. It's not even their fault.
Our wages haven't gone up.
Right. And they try to keep wages up just to attract people to come work for them, but
give them you go to college if you work here, if you're like a Chick-fil-A or whatever. I don't know if that's what they're still doing. They were doing that for a while. I
don't know. So what do you when they flip the iPad? You just
if I understand that the people are actually going to be doing something extra for me, I will probably do some.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do 20% like if somebody's waiting on me filling up my water and stuff constantly.
Yeah.
But maybe I would do some at that, but if it's like 99% of the time it's going to be no tip, unless I'm like, okay, there's a person who is actually waiting. Yeah. Clearly waiting on me.
I remember the first time I got one of those at a coffee shop, I was like, "Oh, have I been supposed to tip this whole time?" Right, and now I'm paying it with a card. Okay. So I did, and then I was like, that felt weird.
You feel violated in some way.
Yeah,
you feel manipulated.
That felt strange. I don't know. But I also get that times are tough out there, and so, people just trying to pay their bills, people actually going out and getting jobs. Like a lot of people don't even want to do that. So it's like you go out and get a job, and it's like, hey, if all I have to do is just feel weird for a second and I get 10% on whatever you just paid for.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that would.
But with those Square apps, because everybody's using that Square app now, it's not like you're getting cash in your hand. So that money must all get pooled. So it's just, okay, at the end of the day, there was $100 in tips. So we split it up among everybody that worked there. And maybe, I don't know. That wouldn't work for me. No, I
wouldn't like that.
I'm too much of like an individual achiever. to be
Yeah,
like,
that would bother me, too.
I don't want to be responsible for these two clowns over here. They don't do anything. They just smoke and
Go to the bathroom 100 times.
yeah. Like, look, just give me like take me out of the pool. I don't want to be in the pool. I want to just my tips are my tips.
Yeah, exactly.
And so whenever it's everybody else's tips, they get a higher cut.
Yeah, yeah, that's how you'd get around that.
This is why I could never get a real job.
Exactly.
Because
they
this is
wouldn't listen to
I'm like,
that.
oh, Josh is.
Josh is
He
doing
wants. I
something.
don't know what he's saying. He wants to like flip the tip so he gets, but we get a higher percentage, or I don't know what he's talking about. He's been rambling for half an hour. I don't know, but that's what I do. Yeah, I used to click like 10%, but now I'm like,
But then you feel cheap if you click 10% because you know everybody wants 20.
right. I don't.
So it's like, well, I'm a bad guy either way.
at some point, I've got enough kids. I'm just like, look,
No
for all my life, I didn't have to do this, and now I have kids, and I feel like I have to, and I have less. So no tip. Sorry, I feel bad, but
Don't spit in my food.
yeah, exactly. What do we got next?
Conspiracy theory?
Oh yes, conspiracy theory.
Yes.
You ready for this?
This is funny, Josh, because I came across a tweet of somebody talking about these underground bunkers that a lot of the ultra rich are creating. And then in conspiracy theory, you talked about the same thing. Not the same tweet, but the same thing.
So according to New York Post, Mark Zuckerberg is building a $100 million Hawaii compound with massive underground bunker. Mark
Just for
Zuckerberg
fun.
is reportedly building a sprawling $100 million compound, complete with an underground bunker and its own food and energy sources, and a secret project suggesting the social media mogul is trying to conceal his doomsday preparations. Do you think they knew something, or do you think that this is what I always wonder? When you have so much money that you don't have to think about money anymore, does your whole life just become about how do I stay alive? Because you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you and I were like, well, we gotta make sure we can pay our bills and stuff. But if you don't have to think about that anymore, then you just becomes, how do I stay alive? How do I make sure that there's not some freak
Well,
accident?
because you think all these people are crazy. They're having an interaction with somebody, they're thinking they're going to poison me. They could
it
kill
could be,
me.
dude. It could be.
Think how paranoid they'd be. So then he's like, okay, well, let's make let's build a massive underground bunker just in case. Just in case.
So do you think that's what it is, or do you think that it's more like how like all these CEOs left their companies right before the sea happened?
Oh, yeah, I know.
You hearing about that?
I did hear about that. It's probably a little bit of both.
You think so?
He probably got some insight, or I mean, he's not an idiot. Clearly, he built this website that everybody and their mom and grandma would use. You want to know what I really think?
Tell me.
I don't think he knows anything, personally, and I think what is happening is he's just like me. He's sitting there on YouTube looking things up. And he comes across this YouTuber who I watch. And he's a guy who made this awesome underground bunker. And Zuckerberg is like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Dude, if this guy could do it and he just only has money from YouTube, imagine what I could build. I'm going to hire all these people. And he's just excited. I'm going to build this whole thing. Oh, and I'll do it in Hawaii because I love surfing. So his like, whereas for me, when I saw that video, I thought, you know what? I could make a doghouse underground, and I could build a retaining wall. It's not going to cost that much money, and I won't really have to consult anybody. Whereas Zuckerberg, his level of fun is like completely else. But we both saw the same YouTube video, the YouTube series, which was very inspirational. So I think that's what he saw, and he has the suspicions, just like us, that 2024 is going to bring the end of the world, or according to you, just be an amazing year. And so he decides, well, you know what? I don't know. So I'm going to build a $100 million underground compound, which would be cool. Don't get me wrong. That would be very cool.
What? So tell me about these links that you posted.
See, now
here.
this is what's interesting.
Okay.
So this person, and they did get fact checked, Josh, but on Twitter, they were like, it was just a retaining wall that Biden was building. Okay.
Okay.
But I revealed that Joe Biden was building an underground bunker in his Delaware home 2 weeks ago. A week later, it was revealed that Mark Zuckerberg, along with 14 other billionaires, are building underground bunkers. All of these will be completed before the winter of 2024.
Well, look, you built a retaining wall, but in the event of a tornado or something, you could take shelter inside of it.
Would I get sucked out of the door? How does that work?
I don't
Probably not.
think so, but you
you
have
always
to
see
let
those
me know.
Yeah, okay. So then they
Okay.
fact checked him and said it was a retaining wall. Then he came back with a rebuttal. You might skim down on that. Community notes is added again. A construction worker gave me this information, and I uploaded photos of them working in the front yard. In the front of his yard, you can have a retaining wall anywhere, and it was inside of his house specifically.
Oh.
The wall can be used as an entrance to the vault. For them to claim there is no evidence is literally insane.
Literally insane.
Literally insane. Just yesterday, we had to remove 2 community notes from one post. all right, whatever. I'm just complaining. So,
They're censoring me. I'm just
censoring
trying
me.
to talk about the retaining wall inside of Joe Biden's house.
so it's interesting, Josh. Now, because Joe Biden, who is creating the policies, and he's making an underground, then I'm like, maybe Zuckerberg's onto something.
He's like, maybe we should build a wall, a retaining wall inside
the
our
house, in the cabinets.
All right, and then so you link to another tweet that says,
Oh, yes. And then he says, the same guy, in 2019, the year before the election, politicians and celebrities were investing in Pfizer and hospitals. In 2023, the year before the election, and we see them investing in underground bunkers and spaceships. It's just something to think about, Josh.
Are they investing more in spaceships than they were a few years ago?
I don't think
Is this just a reference to Elon Musk?
Probably.
Hey, Elon Musk, he's got that spaceship
Spaceship
thing,
thing.
and Zuckerberg's got the bunkers.
Yeah, this seems a little bit like...
I'm sure this was a fun tweet for him to write and be like, "Oh, this is gonna get it." And I see he's verified, so hopefully he
is.
made some good money on
He
this.
did. He did.
He made some money on this tweet.
To be honest, if I had unlimited money, and I would build an underground bunker for 2024
Oh, I
as well.
would too. I would too.
Yes.
It'd be fun.
It'd be fun and safe. You would know that you were
Yeah.
going to be okay.
Yeah. It's like, look, we're gonna learn a lot from this project, and we'll have peace of mind every night when we fall asleep in here, just in case we wake up and it's the end of the world.
Think about how much you have to do to make an underground bunker
Oh, I
to
know.
be livable. There can be a lot of mold that
Right.
appears, Josh. You got to have fresh air down there constantly. Got to have a whole system for that.
And then it's like, okay, so the underground bunker he's building is like a mansion essentially.
of course,
So it's like, what do? Just invite your family and friends. Hey, everybody, come on down to Hawaii. It seems like the end of the world is here. And then you'd all just like live there. Like if you have a bunker just your family, what's even so you just hope that one day you can come out and there's people. What do you do?
I
Like,
guess I don't know. I
you
mean,
repopulate the earth.
hopefully not with them. But what I'm trying to say, Josh, is for $100 million, that would actually be smaller than you would think. That underground.
Oh,
bunker
yeah,
would be small. Think the amount
I buy that.
of welding that a
Right.
person has to do for that. I cannot even imagine how much.
This is a poor man's rich man's bunker.
You
He
s-
needs to invest more. He's got more. He needs more.
He really does. He actually probably should invest $300 million in this,
All right.
and he could get what he wants.
Zuck, come on, buddy. The Zucker.
He's
bunker.
going to be disappointed by his underground bunker by the end of it. Is what I'm saying.
This is it. This is
That's
what $100
exactly
million
the face
bought
he
me?
would make. Where's my jujitsu gym?
Where's my jujitsu gym?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right.
Let's get to it. Gave me hope.
Okay, Jordan, we are not going to talk about our goals for 2024. We are going to talk about the steps for 2024. And why are we talking about steps rather than goals?
Why?
Because it's a lot easier to actually get started on a project if you think about it in terms of steps. Mm-hmm. So for my goals this year, I'm just saying, instead of I'm going to make a video game or I'm going to write a book or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm literally just saying my goal for 2024 is to just take the first step for several different projects, because if I don't take the first step, I'm not going to get done with the whole project in the first place. And at least if I take a first step, then I know something more than I did, even if I don't complete the rest of the thing.
And the first step is always the hardest to take.
That's
so if
right.
you can just work yourself up to do the first thing, to lay the first block, You're going
Right.
to finish it at some point.
Right,
You're going to have
exactly.
2 blocks laid out
Exactly.
for like the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you'll come back to it. I mean, there's several things I've started that I haven't finished, but it's like, well, I'm definitely going to because I bought the material. I did
Right.
this, so it's here. I'm going to do it. Now it's just when I have time to do it or when I can fit it in, but it's always on your mind at that point because it's something you've started.
So what are you going to do for 2024?
Just I feel like we both have similar things. We both want to make I literally just it's hard for me because my mindset is make a video game.
Yeah.
And that works for me honestly sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But I want to get into the habit of reading, and I have been doing this for the past 10 days, reading every day for at least 30 minutes in the morning. Just something, a book, a physical book.
Yeah.
And that's been cool. So I'm not going to make a goal of like read a book a week, read this many books a year, whatever. I'm just going to try and make it the habit of reading every day. That's kind of my main one. But also studying Unity and studying game development, doing that every week, and finding resources for that. I can't remember, did I talk about that on here? The Unity, if people wanted to actually...
The beginner course?
I think I did.
I don't remember if we did or not.
Well, if we didn't talk about it, there's a beginner's course on Unity that actually is like 40 hours of them teaching you, like just for literally complete beginners. Like they teach you how to download Unity, how to download where you can write code, and then they continue with the steps. And even if you know how to do that kind of stuff, you can skip ahead to other things, but it's very, very nice that it's free and it's very useful. I've gone through a lot of it, and it has been extremely helpful. And it makes, when you're looking at other tutorials online, you can actually understand it now instead of just like, wow, this is so over my head. You just need to know the basics.
Yeah.
So one of my things that I'm going to work on is doing that every week. And then one actually just goal that I have to get done is finishing my downstairs.
Yeah.
Like just
it's time.
That's the main thing that I'm doing.
You got that one room done, but now you got to do like the living room area.
Yeah, I built one very nice bedroom downstairs, which was just a disaster in the past. It wasn't even finished at all. We have a basement and sectioned it off so we have a laundry room and we have a bedroom. And then we built a closet underneath the stairs going down into the basement. And so now I need to complete the living room. So kind of like everything that I learned with the bedroom, now do that in the main living room downstairs area. But there's more challenges because there's some stuff that I need to frame around, like the duct work for the AC and things like that. So that's something I didn't really do that much of in the other room. So that's my first step, is to just start doing that, because once I start and that's a part of my life, I'm just all in doing it. So I just need to I need to get that done.
Yeah. I didn't really put things on my list that were things like I knew I have to do. That, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because
that's going to consume my life for 2
right.
months,
That's actually
probably.
something you have to do. So it's all right. Any others, or?
I don't think so.
Mine are very similar to yours, like you said. Yeah. So one of them is that I do want to make a game at some point, but like Jordan, I want to complete that Unity beginner course. Well, you already completed the course, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
Dude,
there
the
you go.
thing is so long. I've done the first 2 units.
Well, it's like 40 hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's probably the most time-consuming thing on this list, is that I want to do that. But I just at least want to get through that, because then I will have a better idea if it's actually. Then I will know one way or another. Is this something I actually want to invest time doing?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
making a game. And I have an idea for a game that wouldn't be that hard to do if it was being done by somebody who understood what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and he told me the idea, and it is really cool.
Yeah. So not as cool as your game, but your game would be a lot more complex.
Yeah, it would take years.
Jordan's
to do.
Jordan's game, if he makes it and it is to any level good, like a well polished game, which it would be because my brother's making it, it would be a best-selling game. It would
be the Talos Principle.
It would be a Talos Principle, yeah. Okay, so that's that one. I want to learn and play a board game for 10 weeks in a row
Learn a new board game.
and play it 10 weeks in a row.
I need to get involved with that one. Find ones that I would like.
Okay. I just have a backlog of games that I either need to just
Yeah.
sell or play. You know what I mean?
And see if you like it, and if you don't, sell it.
Yeah. Story of my life is like having too many games, selling them. So
But they're fun
anyways,
to look at.
Yeah, they're fun to look at and think about. Oh, that'll be fun. one day.
Exactly.
But I got too many young kids right now. But they're playing board games too. We just can't play the adult ones. Okay, and then so Jordan for Christmas gifted me the book Convict Conditioning.
That's right.
And I'm going to complete the first step or whatever of it. The first workout thing.
Well, and I'm trying to remember what
It's literally just push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and one other thing. But you only do it 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And you don't move on to the next one until I think you can do like 6 sets of all of it.
Okay, that's
every
what
single one.
Okay.
Which I think will be will be taxing. So if I can get through that first one, then I'll do that.
That's like calisthenics book. It's kind of what I have used for years. So I got it for Josh.
And then I want to, because I struggle so much with actually reading. I listen to audiobooks all the time, but I don't read. So I want to read a fiction book, and I also want to read a nonfiction book. Just one of each.
What are you going to read?
I don't know. Lord of the Rings, maybe.
That's what I was wanting to read.
Fellowship of the Ring. Maybe I'll read Fellowship of the Ring.
All right.
Just do it. Okay, and then Jordan recommended I get Rosetta Stone lifetime subscription. I did it, so I'm going to complete 6 weeks of Rosetta Stone because that's the first course on there, basics and beyond. You can do it in 6 weeks. Even just doing a little bit, I realized how well it was. It was a good system.
Yeah.
I would love to design a board game at some point.
Yeah.
But that's such an abstract goal. How am I going to do that? So I figured, well, at the very least, I could read a book about board game design because there are several good ones out there.
Are there really?
Yeah. So I would love to read a book about board game design.
That would help with
I bet it
games.
would. I bet it would. I want to find a book about puzzle design too.
I'll send you that article.
Yeah.
I found an article.
I'm going to write that down. I would also like to write a screenplay at some point, like a movie.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, I'm not putting that on the list, but what I am going to put on the list is that I want to read 3 screenplays for movies that I love. Because you can buy them on
that's cool.
Amazon or elsewhere. They'll sell you the screenplays, or you can find them online. And then I also want to do this. I want to read a screenplay for a classic movie that I haven't seen, and then watch the movie after I read the screenplay.
That'd be cool.
And then the book that I started writing, the fiction book I started writing, I want to complete the first 2 chapters of that. Whatever that looks like, and then those are the main ones. Then I have some other random ones that are not really first steps; they're just things I need to do. So I wrote them down. Redo the bathroom and things that hopefully I'll get to. Anything else about that?
No, but although my step when you said the Rosetta Stone thing, in this is funny because I don't even consider this a step now because I do it every day, and that is learning French. It's a big part of my life now, so I kind of even forgot that was. Yeah, like a goal, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
French.
We will we'll revisit all of this at the end of 2024 and see how we did.
We should give an update every month.
I thought about that, but are you okay with that?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Once a month, we will update
we'll
you
have
all.
A section.
Okay, on our progress. That would be good. I would like that.
Me too.
Okay. One more section here. We recommend. Let's do it. Got anything to recommend this week, Jordan?
I recommend the Talos Principle.
Oh, okay.
Even though you've already recommended it.
I think I've recommended it twice.
But let me tell you, if you're somebody who doesn't like game, I consider myself not a gamer, not a video game player. If you like board games, if you are into chess, if you're somebody who's into chess, you need to go through a video game because a puzzle game, because it is so helpful to have played these other kinds of games. It really, if you're even if you're somebody who just literally has no interest or thinks, oh, that's stupid, why'd you play a puzzle game? It really uses your brain in a similar way as a chess kind of game. And it's fun, it's cool because it actually has a storyline. In chess, I was thinking, well, chess, because I love chess, chess does have a storyline in it. No one's creating it, but you can just feel it. After, like I can think back to certain games that I played that I won or lost, and you get a certain feeling behind it, and it's like almost like it was a movie or something.
Yeah.
But it's fun because these games, they have puzzles and they are very complex, but there is a designer behind it who is kind of guiding you, and so it's, to me, it's not as complicated, but it's just kind of fun to go through something, and like there's a storyline behind it. It's just cool. So that was my first puzzle game I'd ever played, and it was very fun.
That's a wild first one to play through. I'm super impressed that you did it.
Yeah, it's as a non-gamer, it was very, very fun.
Cool.
So I'm excited to play The Witness next, and
I'm so curious if you actually complete The Witness. I don't know anybody who's beaten
is it really that hard, or just like monotonous?
I think that it's not that it is hard, but I think that it's just that you get frustrated and you're like, I just think I'm going to be done playing now. Okay. But it's so worth hanging with because, man, it's like by the end, when you get to the end, it's just so rewarding to finish those last puzzles because you really like. I can't say it without giving it away.
Is there a storyline to this one as well?
Not really, but kind of.
Okay, well, we'll check it out.
All right. My recommendation, I feel like I'm always recommending food items, but I found out that you can take just the egg whites of an egg.
Okay.
Put it in a bowl, and then just use a mixer and just whip that thing for like 4 or 5 minutes. It just creates this fluffy goodness that you can then spread on a pan and just make bread out of it.
Really?
Or pizza crust. Yeah. You don't have to add anything. It's just
eggy?
No, it's not eggy at all. It's just like floppy bread, kind of.
That's interesting.
But you can, if you look, just search cloud bread. There's all kinds of recipes, but it's amazing.
Huh.
It's and if you're very careful, you can like put different seasonings on it and stuff. But you can't put too much seasoning on it while you're whipping it because then it just stays liquidy. It's very, very,
very strange,
finicky process. But
how many eggs do you have to go through to make a
That's
pizza?
the thing, dude. Like 3 or 4.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Like this little bit of egg whites becomes like a whole bowl. It's nuts. And it's so fluffy.
All right, we'll try this.
It's crazy. And here's what's great about it too, is that you can still make eggs with just the yolk. Yeah. So it's like you get 2 servings out of an egg.
That's true.
So that's what I do. I save all the yolks and then I just have like just this like power breakfast one day with all the yolks that I've saved up.
You know,
and it's nuts.
That is nuts. I wonder what that omelet would look like. It would just be straight orange. Wow, nice little hack there. I was going to say, and we're at the end of the episode now, I was going to say, go and watch our Alex Jones meme review. I watch that like once a week still, and I die every time. What's funny is I'm watching it, and I start laughing, and then my laugh is the exact cadence of my laugh.
We should upload a video of you watching the video.
Yeah, we should. That's pretty funny. That's a great episode. Man, I love it. Did that episode do well? Did it do well?
Yeah, it did well.
Good, very good.
I like how I edited that one too. I tried to kind of just have fun with it and just throw random clips in and stuff too.
It was good. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back in 2024.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
Peace out.